Well, hello. Good day to you. I hope this video finds you well. Yeah. Welcome to Morning Coffee. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to Divine Conversations. If you're new, hello. My name is Eric. It's so wonderful to meet you. And if you're returning, what's up? All right, guys. So we're going to get into this. We're going to see what we've got going on for the collective. This is going to be a general reading. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is also a timeless reading. No matter when you watch this reading, if it resonates for you in that moment, then that's the message for you in that moment or at that time. Yes? Okay. Let's get into it and see what we've got for today. Hi, Spirit. Please make me a clear channel for the collective at this time. Please bring forward the best messages to serve their highest good and the highest good of all involved. Please clearly show us what it is we need to see, tell us what it is we need to know, and enlighten us to that which it is. Well, tell us what it is we need to hear. There we go. And enlighten us to that which it is we need to know so that we may be empowered to live our very best lives. Thank you so very much, Spirit. All right, well, I am going to say that I am heavily influenced by my environment at this time, but I am seeing sky blue energy. Now, the sun is out, the sky is clear today. It's been a few days since we had a hurricane pass. Luckily for my area of the island, I'm on the west side of the island. We didn't get much damage, flooding wise, at least in my immediate area. A few people lost power. Internet was out for a few days, but the storm has passed. The clouds are gone, and really the only damage that my area really suffered was total beach erosion, which sucks. But either way, the sun is out. And so I will say that I am heavily influenced by that, in my environment, because it has been nebulous and cloudy for the last 3 to 4 days, 4 to 5 maybe. But so now the sun is out. But even in connecting with the collective, I'm clearly seeing a sky blue energy. Okay. And it's really giving sun vibes. Like I'm seeing the sun card, I'm feeling the sun card energy. And even in with the prayer this time today, I mixed things up and got my words a little jumbled, but it didn't matter because we're here and everything's good. We're here, we're alive, we're breathing, we're here. And that is definitely something still to be grateful for. So I feel like the general energy right now within the collective is one of just bliss and happiness. Okay, well, interesting. Entitlement is being injected into that. And now there's this whole push and pull, tug of war of what's entitlement and what is not. So somebody here feels like they're wrestling with the definition of entitlement, because as I was processing the entitlement energy that came through, I started to question, well, wait a second, what is entitlement really? And does being entitled to something have to have a negative connotation? Do you know what I mean? Is it that a level entitlement in and of itself is not intrinsically bad or necessarily bad? It's just how that energy has been used that has skewed our perception 444 in society of the energies of entitlement. Because also in feeling through this energy, I'm starting to question, I'm feeling the question, well, what am I entitled to? Am I entitled to anything? To anything? What is entitlement? Is there a level of is there entitlement in terms of spiritual entitlement? Which I feel like if we're talking about spiritual entitlement, then there's a greater level of humbleness that comes with accepting and being in that energy of entitlement, that space of entitlement. It's far less egoic. Like, actually, ego probably isn't even involved at all on a spiritual level when we're talking about spiritual entitlement. What is spiritual entitlement? Are you, in fact, entitled to something, or are you finding that you are entitled to something spiritually, but someone else or some other entity is trying to take that from you, or skew it, or twist it, or make it seem like it's something that it's not? Because now spiritual entitlement is leading me to spiritual endowment. Interesting. You are entitled to this, my child, my love, my sweet, is what I'm hearing. This is yours to have. You are, in fact, entitled to this. But someone's been trying to rob it from you, steal it from you, take it from you. See, but here's where the humble nature of this spiritual entitlement comes in, because what I'm picking up on now, what I'm feeling is that in order for you to be able to step effectively step into this spiritual entitlement, then you will have to humble yourself in ways that your ego is not allowing you to do right now. And so then that leaves this, whatever this energy or this, whatever it is you're entitled to, that leaves that open for the taking. That leaves it vacant, effectively. If you can't step into it, then that leaves that space vacant. And then and regardless as to whether you're standing in it or not, there are going to be other entities that are going to see that or notice that or be aware of that and want to take it for themselves. And it's not personal. Notice I didn't say take it from you specifically because of something that you are, something that you did. No, they want that for themselves. So they're going to try and take it from whomever they can, because they don't know how to build it for themselves, but they don't want to build it for themselves because that takes a lot of work and a lot of self-reflection. Remember, we said in order for you to be able to step into this level of entitlement, you have to be willing to humble yourself in ways that your ego is not allowing you to do right now. And those entities that want to steal or take this from you are all about the ego. So there is no way they can step into it anyway. Even if they were to try into, or were successfully to step into it, it would just fall apart, crumble to pieces. Because they're not spiritually entitled to it. Number one. But number two, they're not of the energetic vibration to effectively use it anyway. So like, what the hell what use are they going to actually get out of it? But anyway. I'm hearing you need to humble yourself in ways that your nature cannot begin to describe. And your nature is meaning human nature cannot begin to describe. Yet it is still possible for you to work towards it. Okay. Spiritual entitlement, spiritual endowment. Well, there it is right there. The Empress. You are entitled to this because it is of your lineage. And we don't have to get so specific as to you specifically. You specifically and your personal physical lineage. Like, it doesn't have to be anything like that. This could just mean humanity as a whole. What we are spiritually entitled to as light beings. Right. So this really is about remembering who you are. This is so when it's said in the ethers and in the spiritual realms and worlds and collectives and communities, when it said, you need to remember, you are in the process of remembering who you are. This spiritual endowment is part of it, is one way to recognize and or realize it. Understand that you came in with all the powers of the universe to help you create the reality that you desire. However, you are currently allowing other entities to usurp your energies in order for them to thrive, strive, and keep on. But you are in the process of remembering who you are and remembering what you are spiritually entitled to and how you are spiritually endowed, in order for you to step back into that endowment and into that power. That is all abundant, ever abundant. Okay? Ever abundant. The Empress. Eight of Swords. Yeah, that makes sense. This perfectly describes this energy of being restricted, blindfolded and bound, and seemingly encaged. And I say seemingly because it is not too difficult, not horribly difficult, to shimmy over to one of those swords and, cut those ropes free, because that just looks like regular cloth. Okay, and it doesn't even look like it's all that tightly bound either, right? But this is the mental restriction that helps you to forget how spiritually entitled and endowed you are. Okay, what's going on here? The Eight of Cups now. And it literally is about just straight up walking away from it. There's no, you don't need to fight back. You definitely don't need to be getting revenge. Okay, you don't need to work it out. You don't need to save other people. You don't need to try and wake people up. You don't need to try and convince anybody of anything. You really just don't even need to engage with it at all. Just literally drop it and walk away. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about the whole belief system that has you chained up like this, because it has never delivered unto you what it is that it promised to you. Behave in this way, stay in this mindset, do things this way, and you will receive X, Y, and Z. And if there's any generation that knows this well, it's the fucking millennials. Okay? Because we were sold a fucking lie, straight up and down. You can argue with me until you're blue in the face. It's not going to change the fucking fact that we were told if we lived our lives in a certain way and we followed a certain process, we would get a certain result, only for the rug to be ripped out from under us. So we know what the fuck we're talking about when we talk about this. Okay. Okay. Just so we're clear. All right. There's nothing you can do but just lay down. It's interesting because the Five of Swords is not here. Maybe it'll show up at some point. But like, this is giving Five of Swords energy at this point. Just literally put your sword down and get the fuck out of there. That's it. Don't even starve this mindset of energy. And you do that by completely ignoring it, ceasing to engage with it altogether. Okay. What's going on, Spirit? Four of Pentacles now. 8, 8, and 4. 8 is a multiple of 4. 8 and 8 makes 16, which is also a multiple of 4. That's really interesting. But then all of these together make 20. 2 of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Yo, that's wild. 444 on the counter. Because as I was speaking through that, I reached 20, right? Which boils down to a 2. I can't believe I didn't say that. What I was thinking when I went to 20, I was like, ooh, 20. This is another This is like another cycle. This is like another level almost. You started at 0, you worked your way up, 9 to the 10. Boom, you got to the 10, worked your way up. Now you're at 20. But also 20 boils down to 2. That's wild. Two of Cups is your overall energy here. The 2 of Cups has been, we're doing it a bit. We're gonna end the week with a bit of an extended. We're just gonna have it out today. The 2 of Cups, as it's been coming up for the collective lately, it's been speaking of an energy of fusing with yourself. This isn't 2 of Cups as in 2 external, exactly. There it is, confirmation right there. I'll show you in a second. 2 of Cups, in this case, for the collective right now, is not about 2 people coming together at 555 on the counter and bonding. No, this is about the yin and yang within you, the masculine, feminine, good, bad, light, dark, whatever you, angel, demon, whatever you want to call it, the duality that makes you the human being that you are. This 2 of Cups is representing that duality, finding fusion within yourself. And to prove that, to reiterate that, we have the Hermit underneath the 2 of Cups. Okay. So this is you absolutely, truly, 100% finding your light and following your light. So I just said, okay, so do we want to get clarity? And I heard it in tandem. I heard yes. I was like, okay, I'm all right. We'll get some clarity here. Let's talk a little bit more about it. Let's talk about this 8 of Swords. Yeah. 8 of Swords, please. What can you tell us about the 8 of Swords? Woohoo! Okay, 7 of Wands. The Tower. This is taking this 8 of Swords energy that has been used against you. 1717 on the counter, no less. This 1717, 1 and 7 equal 8. 8 and 8, 16. That's boiled down to a 7. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away. This 8 of Swords energy that's been used against you, that's helped keep you in this mental cage, is about to be turned against those who used it against you. And it's not even like you're weaponizing this as a vindictive thing. You're literally turning the tables so that you can release yourself from the situation. And it's interesting because it's being illustrated in my mind as like you literally, like a literal table turning. And as this table turns, you find a doorway where you can just slip right out. And before you know it, you're out of there and they're still stuck in here while the tower falls. You get it? While their structure that they've built. And again, this doesn't have to be so personal. You can zoom out and look at this as humanity collectively. There is a energetic structure that has been built around our planet that has been siphoning our life force energy. And the more and more we slip out of this matrix or this network, whatever you want to call it, the more and more it crumbles around them because they don't have the life force energy to sustain it any longer. So that's why when you slip out, you need to stay out and you need to do everything in your power to not go back and to not let that back into your space either. 7 of Wands. You keep that door shut, honey. Locked, dead bolted. Throw away that key if you need to. We will never be opening this door ever again. Anything else for the 8 of Swords? That's it. Justice. Justice, my friend. Look at this. Justice right here. Don't let let the tower fall, but justice. Need I say more? I don't think so. And the Magician. Here's the Magician energy again. All right. So continue. Remember, we talked about this earlier. You went from the Fool to the Magician. And then you went to the World. We backed up a little bit, but we backed up to move forward even more. And I'm hearing you're really getting it this time, which is good. 8 of Cups. Ooh. Ooh. The 9 of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. So what you're walking away from is no longer conducive to the 9 of Pentacles energy that you've been cultivating for yourself. And as a result, because this energy that you've been cultivating for yourself is way more important and way more valuable than whatever it is you've got going on back here, you choose to walk away from what's going on back here in order to preserve your sense of stability. 8 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, reverse. Show me more 8 of Cups. Oh, interesting. 9 of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Cups, confirming that what you see within you is more conducive to the life that you want to live, and where you are currently, however that you want to describe that for yourself, where you are currently is no longer going to help you be where you want to be. So you're looking into it. You're like, ooh, gotta go. You have that with the sun. There's the sun energy. I told you I was seeing the sun come out. Now, overall energy, you do have the Knight of Swords, but you have it with Judgment and the Queen of Wands. So that's why, okay, the Knight of Swords here is not a bad thing. What I'm seeing the energy of the Knight of Swords providing to this situation is an energy that charges forward and kind of like clears the way. This is in service of what it is in service. This Knight of Swords in Judgment here, I like this combination, because if the Knight of Swords is working on behalf of the Judgment energy, then this is rightfully and righteously righteously placed, in a manner of speaking, for lack of a better term. And this is serving the vibration you're holding. So again, what I'm seeing is this Knight of Swords energy is an energy that is moving forward and like ahead of the rest of the caravan, if you will, or the rest of the self, ahead of everything else, is moving forward and like cutting through the energy and clearing the way for us to move forward. So, okay, this Knight of Swords energy is not bad. This is your overall here. This is good. And also, coupled, not only is this Knight of Swords coupled with the Judgment energy, which does put it in more of a righteous position and balanced and high vibrational position, you also have it coupled with the Sun. And while, yes, the Sun is the most auspicious and beneficial and luckiest and best card, energetically speaking, in the deck, no matter what, when the Sun comes out, even if there's some real fuckery going on, the Sun says, don't worry about it, everything's going to be okay, everything's going to work out great, actually. Okay, so not only does the Sun represent that, but the Sun also represents light, purity, and clarity. And so again, that's another boon to this Knight of Swords energy, keeping it positive, high vibrational and balanced, because you have the clarity to really see ahead of you, to know where you want to go to begin with, so that you can cut the way through. And that's what this Knight of Swords is. It's like the scout. And I know the scout is typically, well, the sentry or the spy or the scout is typically represented by the Page of Swords, but we're not looking for information here. We're looking to move forward. So we need something more developed and stronger to really clear the way. Very nice. All right, finally, I'm going to close this out with clarifying the Four of Pentacles. That's the last card you have here, Four of Pentacles. I don't know if I said that. Yes, I did. Four of Pentacles. This is definitely a moment where you need to hold your own. You need to hold your space. You need to hold your foundation. You're not holding on for dear life out of fear of losing something or anything like that. It's really, you're just holding on to it. You stay holding it secure, keeping it safe and balanced. You know, there's a possibility that something may slip away, but that's okay. We're not holding on to it from a desperate, from a level of desperation. No, but we're holding firm. Four of Pentacles, please. Oh, wow. The Hanged Man and the Empress again. 25-25 on the counter. Four of Pentacles. Oh, shit. Whoa. Clarifying the Four of Pentacles, you have the Hanged Man, the Empress, and the Devil. You have, well, the reason why you're able to hold your position in this way is because you have seen a different side to the Devil and a different side to the Empress that you cannot unsee. It started with seeing a more toxic and or negative side of the Empress. And the Empress, energetically speaking, the Empress, we're talking about fertility, abundance, the feminine, yes, the divine feminine, the mother archetype. These are all ways that this could have played out in your life, energetically, spiritually, mentally. What else? Fruitfulness, desire, deception also, love, negative things were starting to be shown to you from this omnipotent and all-loving energy, and you started to get jaded. And that's where the Devil creeped in and started taking advantage of you in this vulnerable place and got you to do some unsavory things, but like, whatever, we're all human. But see, that also led you to see a different side to the Devil that you definitely cannot unsee, but that completely trumps any sort of negativity that you've seen within the Empress archetypal energy. And so now you are circling back to the Empress energy, but in a much more secure way. 27-27 on the counter. You've seen the toxic side to everything, I'm hearing. And now you're able to really choose which side is more beneficial for you to stand on, the side of the light or the side of the dark. And standing in the side of the light, whilst having experienced a certain level of the darkness, only fortifies you more in the light because it makes you wiser and stronger and able to penetrate into the darkness even more. So hold your own. Continue to hold your own. Your overall energy with this Four of Pentacles is the Queen of Pentacles. And whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. The energy here is one of service, being willing to serve, being very wise and understanding the inner workings of whatever it is you're choosing to be of service towards, which makes you a really effective 28-28 on the counter, which makes you a really effective mother, guide, healer. These are things I heard. Take it as it resonates. Whatever it is you are, it's like a profession, or whatever it is you're offering your services to. It's in a very nurturing, understanding, and wise manner, and a manner that is willing to do the work, is genuinely willing to do the work. Queen of Pentacles here, okay? This situation has definitely increased your capacity for empathy and compassion. And that's beautiful. Okay. Okay. We're going to leave it there. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you have a fantastic day. And if you've made it this far, then please make sure to give this a like, a share. And if you're new here and haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Yeah, I love you all so much. I hope you have a fantabulous day. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Okay. Take care. Bye.